Hello, world. It's time for another episode of Golf Subpar. Sleazy, always good to see you. Big week in the game of golf. The Honda Classic just wrapped up, and my guy, Sung J M,
don't say it.
hoist the trophy.
Don't say
Go
it.
ahead.
A,
Tell us-
dynamite intro. Love the Hello World call. B, I'm still a little pissed off being that your guy, Sung J M, won. I've been waving the pom-poms for this guy for a year. Talk to the other tour players. Hey, here's the next kid coming up. You have never seen a guy hit the ball like Sung J M. Dude, he's unbelievable. This is the next thing to pop on the PGA Tour. I've been betting him every single week to win. Been saying it everywhere. This is the next guy up. This is the next guy up. Just basically copying everything that I was being told throughout the time. The 1 week I don't pick him. The first week we start doing our gambling stuff, you swoop in and snipe him from me. I don't get him at all. I get stuck with some other dudes, and he comes in and wins the golf tournament. So
I mean, I will
that's
say,
more on me than anything. But I'm a little bit still. If we hadn't just had the barn rat in the building, and I wasn't still riding high from that, I'd be really pissed off. But I'm gonna allow it just because I'm still in honeymoon phase after the rat.
I will say, I did swoop in, and I have to ask, was it kind of bad form? I mean, you've been with him every week. You leave him for one, and I swoop in and pick him up. It's kind of like, when your buddy's dating a girl and then they break up, and like how long do you have to wait until you can try to get
the
back in there?
exact analogy I was gonna be like. I just got out of a serious relationship with Sung J M for a year. Things were really serious. We break up for one, and next week, and you're like, hey, you want to go out to dinner? Want to come on and hang
By
out?
the way, he's so much happier with me.
Oh my god! And he comes in and has his best week of his career. So of course, standard issues. It's the way it's gonna go. It got a little bit of hole. We'll get more into our gambling picks a little bit later on. But yes, thank you for bringing that up.
Yep.
I'm very pissed that I got stuck. The 1 week in the last year that I haven't bet on Sung J M, he wins the golf tournament. Standard issue.
I love it, but what a tournament it was. Wins the golf tournament 6 under par. I mean, PGA National once again just shows how brutal this place is. Arguably the hardest non-major golf course on the
It's a
PGA
beast.
Tour. I mean, only 16 guys finished under par for the week.
It's actually awesome, and I want to get your take on this because I know how I feel as a fan, not being in golf, just watching golf. I like to see hard golf courses. I like to see the best players in the world struggle. Now, you've played for a number of years. You were in that. I don't know what it was like when you were playing it, but now that you're on the other side and you're a massive media, the member of the media now, you're no longer playing. You're on the other side of the ropes. Do you like watching these really difficult golf courses? You like seeing the carnage that's going on out there as opposed to like when you were a player, like, oh my God, dude, it's Honda week. Like, this is going to be a grind.
Yeah, it's a tournament that I always looked forward to just because you knew going in how hard it is, and you can't fake your way around it. But at the end of the week, you're just like, thank God that's over with, because it's so stressful. It's so hard. There's zero let up on that golf course. And, I mean, just making pars is such a struggle. And I enjoy it. Even now watching it, like, I love watching it because I don't have to hit any of the shots.
Of course.
But it's such a fair test. It's hard. It's hard as any place there is, but it's fair. There's nothing tricked up. I mean, the wind wasn't out of control. It blew 15, 20.
Normal South Florida wind.
And the golf course isn't 7,800 yards long. It's just, it requires perfection.
You just got to hit perfect shot, repeat for 18 holes, and you're going to be fine. You won't make any big numbers, and just do it for 4 days in a row. But there's more. You've played every tour, every venue on tour, basically. There's water on 16 of the 18 holes out there that come into play. There's got to be more lurking disasters, I would think, at that place than any other golf course on tour. Fair?
Totally. I mean, there's water everywhere, and
it's like one swing, and all of a sudden that could be triple.
Yeah, or an 11, like our guy Matt Every.
Little 11 piece, never a good way to get it going. A little 11, not on the bear trap, actually on the par 3 fifth, which, by the way, is a monster that doesn't get enough love because it's not on the back nine. You don't see it on TV as much. But our boy Matt Every, quick little four piece in the drink before he got it on land and walked away with a crowd pleasing 11. Got to respect that.
And signed the scorecard for an 85.
85 with a bogey. I think he made a tweet on the bear trap coming in on like 15 or something. Made a bird. So he bounced back for a little 85.
A lot of heart.
He did not give up. So props to Matt Every.
But let's get to the main event of the Honda Classic, and that was Sung J M. Put on an absolute ball striking clinic. Goes in there, starts the day 3 shots back, closes in 66. Unbelievable performance. Ended up beating Mackenzie Hughes by a shot and Tommy Fleetwood by 2. Tommy had a chance at the end, birdied 17, awesome putt, stripes it off 18, got caught in between clubs, and also maybe a yell from a fan at the top of his backswing when he was going for the green and 2. Blocked it right in the water. What was your thoughts on what happened with the fan?
I hated that. And Tommy, like, props to Tommy because he came out in his post-game interview and said, like, hey, I didn't hear the fan. So for those who didn't see it, a fan at the top, you can hear it clear as day on the broadcast, top of the backswing, get in the hole, right? The guys that yell that type of stuff. Tommy in his post-game interview said, hey, I didn't hear it. It didn't affect me. I hit a bad shot, and it is what it is. He took full rap for it, which props to him because, like, even if he did hear it, if you say like, yeah, I wouldn't have hit that shot if I didn't, if I hadn't heard that at the top of my backswing, I think he handled it the right way. I have a hard time believing he didn't hear it, because if the boom mic picks it up, or as we call it in the biz, the fluffer mic, if that picks it up, I got to think that Fleetwood heard that, but he didn't say anything about it. But I just hate seeing like, this guy grinds for 4 days, plays incredible golf. Here it comes down to the biggest shot of the golf tournament, and all of a sudden there's a dude in the van, get in the hole. I hate that. I don't know how you stop it, but it was a tough way for the tournament to end. And Tommy Fleetwood, by the way, going for his first PGA Tour win. Like I love Sungjae Im. That's pretty well known, but Tommy deserves one. He's been there so many times, and he's been so close. Like there was no bad ending in that thing. I just didn't like to see it the way that it ended, especially with the fan yelling. But I don't know how you stop it.
He's so good, and it's so unfortunate with what happened, but it is what it is. There's nothing you can do.
I don't know what you do. It happens all the time. Happens every week, and the fans do a good job of like policing it and saying like, hey, this is the dude that did it, and they get tossed out or whatever, just like it happened with Brian Palmer on 15. But it's over. The damage is done. He's hit it in the water. He lost the golf tournament. Boom. Okay, so what? Like, cool. He's kicked out. Can't come back till next year. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but I think we can both agree Tommy Fleetwood is going to have plenty of opportunities to get his first W, and I think once he does knock one off, it'll be the first of many.
Yeah, everyone says that. It's like, when Phil lost the Open to Payne Stewart back at Pinehurst, Payne was like, hey, dude, don't worry, you're going to win a bunch of these. You just never know. Like, I think Tommy Fleetwood's going to win on the PGA Tour, but like, man, it just changes like the whole deal. It ain't easy to win out there. When you let one get away like that, especially with the guy yelling at the top of your backswing, like that's tough. But props to Tommy for the way he handled it, because like it would have been really easy to be like, yeah, I heard that in the top of my top of my swing, and that's why I hit it in the water.
I mean, if that would have been me, even if I didn't hear it, I'd have been, and they told me,
blame everyone.
Be like, oh yeah, I knew there was something that happened.
Of course, dude. I never missed my high cut 5-wood from 240 ever. That's my shot.
Yeah, so he did. He handled it incredible. But there was some other news going on during the Honda Classic, and Paul Azinger ruffled some feathers.
Some fellers. Yeah, he ruffled some fellers.
Yeah, ruffled some feathers when he made some comments about the European Tour and other tours not quite being up to the level of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, you're about to enter this world, Colty. You're about to get on that broadcast game with CBS here coming, New Orleans? That's when you make your debut. Everybody get ready for that. But in my opinion, it's one of the hardest things. It's one of the hardest jobs in sports. It seems easy as you sit on your couch, like, oh, that's a stupid thing to say. Why did he say that? Azinger got caught up with something he said, and I don't think it was it wasn't the message of what he was trying to say. It was just the way he said it. I think Azinger's very honest, very good, but he said, yeah, Tommy Fleetwood's won over there on that, quote unquote, that European tour, making it sound like that tour is lesser and that whatever you do over there doesn't matter. I don't think that anyone could argue that the PGA Tour is the best tour in the world, right? There's more depth, there's better players, there's more money, there's all that. But like at the end of the day, it's hard to win anywhere. And so you can't just erase what he's done over there. But he said that that tour over there, and that's what got everybody, all riled up. Twitter came at him. Ian Poulter responded to it, said, hey, dude, guess what? We've had our way with you pretty much in every Ryder Cup over here in Europe, so maybe take back what you said. Lee Westwood commented, hey, I've won 44 times across the world. Like, that's something. It was just the way he said it. I don't think it was the message that he was trying to convey, but the way he said it, I think, was taken wrong.
It's one of those things, I think you say it, and then in the back of your mind, you're like,
that didn't come
out the way I wanted it to.
You're about to enter that world, so I think
it's already happened to me.
You get in there first week in New Orleans and start taking some shots at some people. Maybe go at the internationals, go at the Europeans. Just say something really off color and out of line, and it'll get good. No such thing as bad pubs. You get in there and mix it up quick.
I did. I was doing the WGC in Memphis last year, and Cameron Smith was playing good, and we're talking about him all day. And it was, I think, on Friday, and I was in the booth for 5 straight hours, and it was coming towards the end of it. And you start getting kind of a little delusional out there. You've been watching 1,000 golf shots, and I was like Cam Newton, for birdie or whatever. And like a minute later, I'm like, I look at the spotter, and I go, did I just call him
Cam Newton?
And she goes, yeah. And I go, oh, apologies.
Yeah,
I meant Cameron Smith. It's almost football season. I got a little excited.
Yeah,
just kind of covered it.
But it's just hard to go through live mic, live TV, live radio, whatever it is, without saying something stupid or something that doesn't come across like, I didn't really quite mean it that way that it came out. It's a tough deal. I think golf in particular, it's even tougher because guys are so quick to jump on people when they don't say the right thing. So you're about to enter that world. I don't envy it, but if someone does come on you on Twitter, I got your back. Me and my legion of 12 followers will be a little guard dogs.
I love that. I'll tell you the best part about the story with the Cam Newton comment was about an hour before that, our next guest, Gary McCord, texted me. He was listening to the broadcast. He goes, hey, I'm listening. Say something stupid. And then I did that, and he goes, there it is.
Perfect. Waiting for it. Knew you could do it. Proud of you. Proud of you.
Yeah, but it was funny. But back to the Honda Classic. Big shout out Sung J M getting his first of many.
I'll pick him
PGA
for
Tour.
every week from this point forward. I will never make that mistake
Are
again.
you spoiled? Are you kind of teasing one of your picks?
Actually, I
already?
don't think I'm picking him this week, but every week from after this week going forward, I can't live with myself. All right, Colt, it's time for us to get into funny money. And Honda Classic, not the only major event taking place in South Florida this week. The Monday immediately following the Honda Classic, big time pro member at Seminole Golf Club. I've never been there. Most of the golfing planet will never go there and play in this event. However, you have played there and you got a good story from being down there. Let the people in on a little dirt from the Seminole pro member.
Yeah, I think I played 3 times. The last being a couple years ago. Actually, was coming back as the defending champion, Sleaze.
Oh, wow.
Me and my
so
partner.
you won as a pro.
It's true.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
Me and my partner, Christy Flanagan, great guy from Dallas. Been a member at Seminole for years. Called me several years ago, asked if I'd come play. Had an awesome time. I think we won in our second year playing. So in the locker room at Seminole, they have this huge board up there with all the winners of it. I mean, the names are ridiculous. Ricky Fowler, Buddy Marucci, your partners, me, Christy
Colt.
Flanagan.
All right.
Ernie
Ernie Els, Jack Nicklaus, Colt.
Really cool place. I mean, if you look at the field, it's unbelievable. I know this year Phil's playing with Jimmy Dunn, Kevin Streelman, Larry Fitzgerald, Jack Nicklaus is playing. I think I told you earlier, one of the first years I played, we were on number 10 tee. Well, the same tee time off number 1 was Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer.
Same time.
Yeah, and then it's me and Sean O'Hare.
Okay.
over here.
Hey, guys, over here.
Yeah.
Hey, we're teeing off, too.
Y'all wanna come watch us?
Come over and watch me at this driver.
Right.
Forget Jack and Arnie.
Yeah, but it's a cool place. And like I said, did get to hoist the trophy one year. The next year was my last.
Okay.
Partner was not impressed with my actions, I don't believe.
Actions meaning how you played or actions meaning outside of how you played in golf?
Kind of both.
Okay.
So I'm going to blame Gary Woodland for part of this.
Sure.
One of our favorite guests here
That's
on
fair.
Subpar. Finished up the Honda. Me and him went out, a little Sunday evening celebration, having a time. You know, the hotel there at PGA National gets a little wild, and we got amongst it.
Amongst it.
Yeah.
Good, as you
And
should.
I was 7:30 a.m. the next morning.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough one.
Showed up, not feeling my best.
Okay.
Okay, a little rough warm up, a little dizzy.
Okay.
We go through. I think I boged the first. Second, I get in the fairway bunker, kind of under the lip, little uphill lie. Hit it, took a tumble, fell on my ass.
Fell into the
Ate it.
bunker?
Yeah.
After the fairway bunker
Yeah.
shot? Okay.
Partner wasn't too impressed.
That'll
Didn't have
happen.
much to say to me the rest of the day. I think I shot about 76, 77, and haven't been back since.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
you
I
had-
got one, though. That's all
You
that
had a
matters.
hell of a run.
It
You
was.
hoisted it, and your name's in the locker room. What else is there? You
That's
know what I
true.
mean?
It
So
was-
what? I got a little drunk and fell down in a bunker.
like-
Big deal.
I was looking. I was like, maybe he doesn't play anymore. That's why I don't get invited back. I looked this morning. Nope. He's playing. He's got Carlos Ortiz. as
So
a
he's
partner.
he's
Yep.
back. He's just
Yep.
click upgrade button.
Yeah, no, we're done with him.
You think Jack and Arnie ever fallen down in a fairway bunker out there?
100%.
Of course,
Arnold
dude.
has.
Who hasn't?
Yes.
Who hasn't?
But, I mean, this is what – don't put me at 7:30.
That's a tough
Come
time on a Thursday, much less a Monday after you survived Honda Classic.
But it is a super special event. Guys have a great time, and the field is unbelievable.
Yeah. Pro member. Now that you are not a member nor a pro. Oh, you still are a pro.
I'm a
Are you
pro.
going to get your amateur stat? Are you going to apply for that? Is that something you're into?
I talked to Jason Gore about that. It's
How
gonna-
long?
it's gonna- like 8 years.
8?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
I don't even know if I'm going to be alive in 8 years.
That's a very
We'll
good
see
point.
what happens.
If you are alive in 8 years and you apply, let's play the 4-ball together.
Okay, deal.
All right.
Done.
Done. That's inked. So we're the favorites for the 2029 4-ball. Good.
That's so
All right.
far from
That's
now.
inked. I might not be around either.
All right, well, now
50-50.
it's time for Colt versus Drew, which,
Yes.
you know, for those of you keeping score at home, it's 2-1.
It's rigged. I'm not on board with that. The scoring is very subjective.
You got to grease
I'm taking
producer Mark
offense
a
to
little
it.
bit.
This is like boxing right now. I feel like I've won both fights.
All
I
right.
haven't won yet.
Producer Mark, what do we got this week?
Sort of building off that story. Bigger event this week, the Seminole Pro Member or the Arnold Palmer Invitational?
Both huge, but with the legacy Arnold Palmer has left behind, there's definitely no question it's the Arnold Palmer Invitational. One of the coolest events on the PGA Tour. I was lucky enough to play in it several times, and it really is an honor to tee it up in his tournament.
Hate to agree with Colt. Got to go with anything with the name Arnold Palmer on it is bigger than any tournament where Colt has actually hoisted the trophy. So I'm going 100% Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Good answer.
Thank you.
All right. Better golf movie, Caddyshack or Tin Cup starring this week's guest?
Oh, On the spot.
Just because he is in Tin Cup, I'm going with Caddyshack. Bill Murray is one of my favorite actors of all time. That movie, I mean, you can quote the whole thing, is absolutely incredible. A classic. I think even if you're not a golfer, you love Caddyshack.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that'll be around. It's been around for however long it's been around now. It'll be around in another 30 years. I like the fact that you're catering to our guests. I'm going to go on the other side of that and say Caddyshack. I love Tin Cup.
I said Caddyshack.
I thought you said because our guest is from Tin Cup.
I did.
That's
why I'm picking Caddyshack.
Oh, that's why you're picking Caddyshack. I kind of tune out sometimes when you're talking. I'm going Caddyshack as well. It's been around for forever. It will stand the test of time. Probably the most quotable movie. Take away golf quotable, just quotable in general. It's hard to get through a round with your buddies without somebody quoting a line from Caddyshack. I'll go Caddyshack too.
I need you to listen.
On the other side? Oh, okay. Well, that's tough.
I'll
work on it.
All right. Future subpar guest Tony Romo just got paid. Looking at it from that perspective, is he a better broadcaster or better professional quarterback?
All right, I'm going to go first since you've been getting to go first. I'm going to go better broadcaster because all you got to do right there. My philosophy in life, you get paid what you're worth. And the fact that he's just signed basically a super max deal in the world of broadcasting, the highest paid broadcaster or color guy at least at CBS, that makes him the best in the world at what he does in terms of pay. I don't think he ever was better than Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, those guys he was competing against. So I'm going to go broadcaster, no question.
I mean, we're agreeing a lot today, and I'm going to have to agree once again.
Ugh.
I mean, I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. He never got us a Super Bowl, so I'm very disappointed with him.
Take some shots
quarterback.
at him.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah.
No.
There you go.
I love Tony Romo as a football player, but as a broadcaster, it's absolutely incredible what he can do, how he sees the defense, predicts plays. I mean, he's right so many times. It's unbelievable. He's so talented at this broadcasting thing. It's unbelievable. And it's like we said earlier, it's a hard job, and he makes it look very simple. But I will say, the man sitting next to him, Jim Nantz, helps out quite a bit.
It ain't bad being in the booth with the best in the business and getting teed up from a guy like Jim. But you get paid what you're worth.
It's true.
And apparently, he's worth more than anyone in that game. So got to go broadcaster.
All right. On theme with this week's tournament, better golf drink, the Arnold Palmer or the Azalea?
Well, I don't know what the Azalea
What is inside of an Azalea, would you say?
I don't know. They make it at the Masters. I believe it's grenadine.
Yeah. I know.
I've never
what that
been
is.
there. Remember? I didn't play there.
Yeah,
so
Colt said no.
But
He
say,
RSVP'd no to the Masters.
I will say Arnold Palmer for sure. I love it. Throw a little vodka in there. Makes it incredible.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just for the sake of argument, since we've been on the same side of so many of these, I'll say the Azalea because it is such a staple of the Masters. You only get it one place, or at least it's only known in one place. That's the trademark drink of the Masters. I will go with the Azalea just to be on the other side of the argument with you.
The Azalea is probably like a pink drink, which you're definitely
I'm into it. I'm definitely into it. Yeah. The softer, the better.
Yes.
All right. Last question for this week. Who would have a better performance at the NFL Scouting Combine, Colt or Drew?
Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This
one's not even fair. Producer Mark, what in the hell is this?
Good question, Mark. I like this question.
Terrible.
Could talk for hours.
Sleaze thinks he's the greatest athlete in the world. He's the best at every single sport he does.
I'm in the mix.
If he could just get the chance, he would dominate.
Never got my shot.
I'm not the most athletic guy in the world. That's why I'm a golfer. So I will give this one to Sleaze, even though it's stupid.
This is great. More of these questions where Colt has no choice but to defer to me. I would say Combine, I'm going to vote for myself. Very sneaky 40-yard dash, also vertical leap, plus or minus.
Okay, what do you think?
It's double digits. 5.
I was going to ask if you could break 5, you think?
5 is – everyone says they can break 5. I don't think there's that many people that can really break 5. I would need some training for a little bit, but I'd put it right around the 5 mark.
I saw on there the other day there was this 6'7", 367-pound man that ran a 5'1" 40.
That's just these dudes are turning into mutants. There was a linebacker that ran a sub 4.4. The dude from Clemson.
Yeah.
Sub 4.4 linebacker.
Yeah.
240. Cool.
You got that.
Yeah.
All right, producer Mark, the time has come.
All right. So I left the part out. Arnold Palmer's my favorite drink of all time. If anyone chose the Azalea, they were a defunct loser. There you go. Colt is up 3-1.
Shocker. Colt wins again.
Yep.
What do you know?
Should have said Arnold Palmer.
This is getting out of hand. The bias is becoming so blatant that we can't even take it seriously at this point.
Sorry about another L for you. All right. Well, I think it's time for us to get to the main event.
Okay.
And our very special guest this week, the one and only Gary McCord.
There's no one better. They're going to get a lot of stories here, a few even that I haven't even heard yet. He's one of the best in the business, and this was a fun hour or whatever it was that we spent with him. He is very willing to talk. I'll say that.
This is by far the least you and I talk.
That's the best. That's the best case scenario.
I mean, we don't say anything.
No, we basically turn the mics on. Hey, here's Gary, and then an hour later, we're like, all right, that was it.
All right. Well, the time has come. Here's Gary McCord.
All right, we are very excited to welcome our next guest to the Subpar Podcast. If you've watched golf at any point in the last 33 years, then you know who this man is. In my personal opinion, the best golf broadcaster to ever do it. We found him this morning in the unemployment line down in Phoenix, and we promised if he did the podcast, we would give him a sandwich. So here he is. Gary McCord, welcome to the show, my man.
Well,
Well,
what have we
Zing.
got here?
Zing! Quick
Good
zing!
God.
Got you with the unemployment zing. Quick, just
I've-
to get you on your toes.
I've been in a lot of career busters.
Yeah.
This could be it.
This is the
could
one.
be it.
If you haven't ruined yourself yet, this
I
is
have.
it.
I
Yeah.
think I have. So this is it. I'm just so happy you guys are employed. I really am.
It's a
I
shock.
really
It's
am.
a
we haven't
shock to
got
us all.
paid yet.
Well,
but,
that doesn't
we
matter.
might be doing this for free. You
This
never
is
know.
a pro bono
You're
type
going,
deal.
You're going the right direction. So I'm very proud of you two guys. I really have. You stuck to it. You know, we talked about this a couple of years ago. Let's get this thing going. You guys got to learn this business, do this, do that. So good on you guys. You're
Thank
having
you.
fun,
Wow.
looks like.
Thank you, Magic.
Okay, that's probably the last nice
That's
thing
a
we're going
nice-
to say about anyone around here.
Of course.
The rest of the
That's
show,
probably
The
but
bar is low right now, so it's a good time for
Very
entry.
low.
You know what I mean?
And I tell you what, these three athletes here, we can deal with low bars.
We can lower
Yes.
it even further.
Yes, we can.
Exactly. But pretty cool for you to be on this pod. You got a very interesting hat on that I want to get to here. It looks homemade in some form or fashion. I know this is an audio pod. We got video too. Why don't you tell people what it says, what it means?
Well, it's it says need work. So
Self-explanatory.
yeah, I could the hat at Whisper Rock cost me $27, but I can write it off if it's an advertisement. So I'm advertising for work.
How's that going so far?
Not good.
Any takers?
Not good. No.
You're on the
Not-
pod. You're on a massive podcast.
You
dude.
know when people come up to you and they kind of deter and go the other way? That's where I am right now.
Like it's
just-
awkward. Like they don't want to have the
They
conversation.
don't want to have a
Yeah.
conversation.
Like,
They just kind of
ah.
put their head down and just walk that way. So anyway, I'm out there and I'm willing to do
just about anything.
just about
as
anything.
you see right now.
Yes. This is rock. This is what rock
There's
bottom looks
gotta
like
be.
for the world's best golf broadcaster.
What
We're a
do-
part of it.
So what do you guys get? 7, 8 people watching this by mistake?
Well,
most of
your
them?
family.
And
He's
four-
got a big. He's
four
got a
of
big.
them right
Mine
there.
isn't.
He's
Mine's
got a
not-
big family.
Yeah, and there's four
Four
back
of them
there
right
in the
there.
deal. So okay.
I watch
Okay.
it like 5 or 6 times just to boost the views.
Do you
You know,
really?
it's a
Okay,
little
good.
trick of the trade.
Comments?
Dude. I was like,
Wow,
guys,
those
this thing's
guys are
really
good
exploding, and we got 12 views already.
All right, Gary, we got to talk about this. So, this is our little podcast set we have here, and you decided to bring a little extra decor to it. Can you explain to us these beautiful flowers in this?
Yeah, explain this
Hi.
whole setup right here.
Okay, and in 100 years I've been on television, we always have set decorations. You can't. I watched Rom's deal with you guys,
Right.
And you're just sitting here with this wallpaper that's not wallpaper.
That's
cheap.
real wood, dude.
That's cheap.
That's actually fake
That's
wood.
cheap
That's
wallpaper,
fake
and you
wood.
got nothing. There's nothing here. There's no life. So
There's a
this
couple
is-
beautiful pictures.
We got
right
our
there.
faces over here. I don't
Well,
know if
like
you can
I
see
said,
them. Yeah,
like
those
I
are pretty
said.
good.
So this is a set decoration, is
Okay.
what this is. It gives a little nature and a little liveliness to the festivities.
I like that.
Okay.
And
Those are nice.
And so these you got flowers, and then
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
pie
explain this.
that you,
Oh.
you freshly made
that
before
you just
came
brought
over
in
here,
here
it
right
looks
before
like.
we started. I had no idea what you're doing.
It's about discipline, and as you
Okay.
know, golf takes a lot of discipline. You have to get focused, and I every week fast. I started last week 1 day. This week is 2 days. So I ate Saturday night at 7:00, and this is what
This is Monday.
This is Monday. Yeah.
Monday, and I haven't had
God, it's good to be retired. Huh?
anything to eat in 2 days, and I've got 2 hours left, and this is discipline because you know how good that looks. I shouldn't ask you. That really looks good to me, and I am disciplined now to not partake
Okay.
of that.
It's
So
like a temptation.
2
You
days.
have to resist.
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
days,
okay.
no food.
No
what's
food.
gonna be the first meal back tonight?
You have to go really light
Okay.
because you've kind of flushed things. And I've had last night 5 trips. Of course, I'm 100. 5 trips to the John last night.
We don't have to
5.
get into this.
No,
Fine.
this is perfect.
It's
I want to
just
know about your
water.
bathroom habits.
Well,
Yeah.
it's when you get old.
Look
this
at me
thing
when you
doesn't
talk.
work.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't work. So I'm drinking something. I got no sleep and I've had nothing to eat, and I really want a bite of that.
But you're
So
not
that's
gonna do
that's
it.
going to be your
That's-
reward for doing this. Next,
That's where I am right now.
why are you doing that? Because like, what's the point? You're a skinny dude. Like you're, if anything, you should be trying to gain weight. I feel like you're a skinny guy. Like, what's the point of like, hey, I'm going to fast for an extended period of time?
I have nothing
Why are
wrong.
you doing that? That'd be like me fasting, dude. I need to
He's
eat
bored.
more.
I have
Is that literally what it is? Like, yo, let
I
me
got
see if I can
nothing
do
else to
this.
Yeah.
See, I get bored all the time, but I never fast. I mean,
No, you're a reverse faster,
That's
dude.
like, yeah, let's go.
That
drink a-
doesn't even solicit.
Yeah,
an
I'm gonna see
answer.
how many
No.
Postmates can deliver to my house in the next hour.
Yeah,
Go.
there you go.
I have a hell of a record with Postmates.
I
by the
believe
way.
it.
It's
First
great.
name basis.
All right.
So this is what you do when you're bored and you're not working.
Yeah.
Is let me see if I can fast for a couple
I
days.
am twitchier than hell right now.
I could sense it. We offered you a cocktail before, and you're like, dude, I haven't eaten in 2 days.
You have to have coffee. So I loaded up on the coffee. That kind of gets you through it a little bit. Coffee is now wearing
You
out.
don't need coffee,
That
period.
No.
You're like ADD times 100. You
I-
don't need any uppers.
I used to do this on telecast too. If we're going to be out there for a while, if you want to gear it up, don't eat for about 10 hours prior to the telecast, and you will gear it up. You'll go.
What should
Because
Colt
blood
do then?
sugar is running really high.
I might black out.
Really?
What should what
Where'd it go?
should Colt do then?
Where'd you go?
I'll black out and
Yeah.
call Cam Smith.
No,
Cam Newton. I actually already did that.
Yeah, I already did that.
That's rookie stuff. So this is what you're doing now that you
Yeah.
have a little time off. You've been working in television for 33 years. What's it like for you the first time now that you're not working? Is it weird for you? You're a golf watcher, right? You watch golf. You observe the tournaments, things like
Yeah.
that. How weird is it for you to be at home watching these things and not be working them?
Yeah, it's different.
Gotta be.
From the perception. I'm now the witness. I'm not part of it. I'm the witness. I can sit back and go, oh, and you can kind of react to it from a position that I've never had before.
Right.
For a long, long time. So it is, and it just so happens that my former network is not doing as well as they would like with the golf broadcast at this point. I've never seen anything quite as negative as I've seen coming out of everywhere about what's going on. So I have a lot of empathy towards those are my friends,
Right.
and I don't want to see them fail, but they're getting blasted. It's not a good time.
When you're watching, like at home, you're watching this past weekend or whatever, are you critiquing? Are you listening and being like, that's a problem? Or, oh, that was really good? Or things like, you've been in this business for so long, when you probably listen to the broadcast, actually pay attention to it more than like the average listener, right? The average guy watching TV. Are you critiquing every single, when they kick it down to the fairway and somebody says something, are you like, oh, that was good, or oh, that was bad? You got to pay attention to that more than anyone, I would think.
I paid attention to the flow. Okay, let's take sitcoms.
Okay.
If you're gonna produce a sitcom, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna find 4 people that are totally different, and I'm gonna put them in a bar, in a room, anywhere. You can start with I Love Lucy, and you can go to Cheers, and you can go to Modern Family, and now Schitt's Creek.
Sure.
And everyone is different. You don't put the same people in a room and go talk.
5 of the same characters,
It's
basically.
going to come out the same every time. It's going to be dull and boring. This is entertainment. And there's people sitting home on a couch watching golf. Okay? Now, if you take a side, and it's always opposing sign, Gene, you ignorant. Okay?
Yes,
Saturday Night
I'm
Live.
with you.
That's
SNL,
that's how you
I
do
follow.
it. You go after. Now these people, instead of
You can say that
surfing, they're wait, but hold it. I like his position, or I don't like his position, but they have a vested interest now in what they're watching on television. If we're arguing about something, if you go, wow, that was a great shot, and let's go to Gary. Oh, that was a wonderful. And Colt, how about that one? Oh, that was fantastic. Are you kidding me? You can't have that.
Right.
You've got to have this ridicule. You've got to some guy's got to jack it up, another guy's got to break, and you've got to get those people together and put your team together and do it. And that's what we are lacking at this point, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, and so we're discussing like what is going on with you right now and what has happened. But I want to know, like, how did all this even start? You know, you were obviously trying to play the tour for quite a long time. You played over 400 PGA Tour events,
Nice
and
career.
then all of a sudden, you switch over to the dark side. Is what people are referring to me now that I quit playing this game. They're like, you're switching over to the dark side, and we're actually going to talk about this game for a living. How did this all even come about? Because I mean, 400 events, that's a lot of PGA Tour events.
That's a real career.
That's a lot of miscuts.
It's a lot of miscuts.
That's a lot of
Yeah, that's what I
miscuts.
was about to say.
That's
That's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of Thursday,
miscuts.
I get
Friday,
it.
dude.
Okay, real quick. I was on, this was 1986. We're playing the golf tournament, the Colonial, and the next tournament is Jack Nicklaus's golf tournament, Memorial. I'm on the policy board, one of the 4 players that are represent the tour. That'll tell you what desperate shape they were in at that point, that I was a director. And I was going to Jack Nicklaus's tournament because we had policy board meetings for a couple of days. I was in the golf tournament. It was an invitational. I didn't play many invitationals, wasn't high enough on the money list. So I get on the airplane to go there, and sure enough, in the first class section, of course, was Frank Chirkinian, who started the business. There was Pat Summerall, there was Ken Venturi, there was Ben Wright, and they're all heckling me as I went back to the back. So about halfway through the flight, here comes a half-drunk bottle of wine, cheap wine, to me, because they're up there drinking. And I go back and take it to 27B back there. So I got it and everything. I was sitting there, okay, well, you know what? I got an idea. So I'm dead broke at the time. I mean, I am flat out. I'm doing push-ups just to stay warm. I go back to the front and I said, Frank, I said, listen, I said, question, is there a chance I can come out and watch how television is done? I'm on the policy board. I'm making decisions as to CBS, NBC, ABC at that time on policy decisions on television. I don't know how you guys do it. And he looked at me and goes, yeah, if you want to do that, come out Friday. And I said, okay, but Wednesday is our last policy board meeting, and I haven't got any reservations. And he goes, all right, we're staying at the Stofers. Check in. I'll have them check in. Oh, okay, fine.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I show up there, check in. The first time I ever had like real room service, so I didn't care. Right?
Right.
I'll take the steak.
I'll have it all.
I'll take
Bring
that.
me 2 of
But
everything.
The left side of
Yeah.
that menu, I got it.
Yeah.
And I was having a ball. So we go down, and he says, I'll see you out. Come out Friday. I go out there Friday, and I'm going to sit behind him. You've been in the trucks. And there's 132 monitors up there. There's stuff all over it. And there's guys sitting there with those slide rules going like this and that, and it's just chaos. So I walk in, I sit behind him, and somebody goes, hey, McCord's here. Frank turns around and goes, hey, get your ass out to 16. No, I came in to watch. Get your ass out to 16. Okay.
Here I go.
So I got it, because when Frank yelled at you, you paid attention. So I'm walking out to 16 at Memorial at Muirfield Village. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to be on the 16th tee. I'm going to be a spotter. Spotter looks in the clubs, the bags of the players, and the caddies usually flash him, and he'll go, he's hitting a 7-iron. Freddie Couples hitting a 7-iron. And then it goes all the way up and around. It finally ends up to some stupid announcer up there that goes, oh, he's probably going to hit a 7-iron. That's usually what I said.
Right.
So, and that job was basically for caddies that missed the cut. And they'd give them $50, and they'd go put the hit sets on. Perfect. Okay, fine. I go down there. I start to turn right to go to the tee, and Vern Lundquist up in the towers yelling, hey, get up here. Get up here. I turn, well, I'd rather go up there than the tee. So I went up there. I said, yeah. And he goes, here. And he hands me a headset. And he goes, Frank wants to see what you do on the air.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So I put this on, and now people are, whoa, at first, it's cool. You don't know who in the hell's talking to you. And I recognize Pat Summerall's voice from the hardware commercials, right? And then I knew this was Frank because he was yelling at me. And so we did rehearsal for 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Cameras went down. Everything went dark. He goes, okay, show up tomorrow. I want everybody in position, their towers, at 11:30. Sure, okay. So I get there and I go up. I'm sit there. Now, the guy sitting next to Vern Lundquist was a guy that was John Madden's spotter, okay? John Madden could fit inside this guy, okay?
Okay.
He was 438 pounds,
All right.
okay?
Spelled.
And to sit there, and I was enthralled by the fact that he could sit in that $4 chair from Kmart and that thing wouldn't just collapse. I sit there and I swear the thing was moving. It was just shaking like that. So he's sitting there and they've got the monitors there and I'm sitting off to the side in one of those folding chairs. Camera's over my left shoulder. So here we go. 8 minutes. I have no clue. I'm on national
Zero
television.
prep, zero nothing.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing. So I've got a newspaper up there and some stuff. We didn't have notes, anything like that then. So I'm sitting there watching. I'm just listening to the whole format and how it's going. And they go, okay, let's go out to 16. Vern would take it, and Vern Lundquist here at 16. And that's a pretty good shot there, Gary, isn't it? Yes, it is, Vern. Nice shot. That was great. Whatever. So I'm going, okay, well, I say, okay, you got to get in, you got to get out in a hurry. You can't tell a story. There's no storytelling in this. It's 7-second intervals and boom, boom, you got to paint a picture. Okay, I get that. So now we're going, and all of a sudden I look over, and it's, the 16th tower there. You can look over and see 14, and then the green right there, and then 15 is a par 5, and 16 comes back par 3. Well, the next group was on 14. They had starter times at that, so to stagger them. So there's nobody on the green at 14, nobody on 15, and nobody on 16. So I sit back, kick back in the chair, start reading newspapers and stuff about the tournament, getting insight
Right.
while I'm up there on the tower. So we come back and we're sitting there, and the guys are going back and forth, and all of a sudden I hear Summerall go, well, let's go out to Vern Lundquist at 16. So I got the paper and I'm sitting there next to the camera, and I kind of look up. Vern goes, Gary, he says, this putt here looks pretty fast. And he says, you think you'll be able to get that ball close from where he is? And I look, there's nobody on the green. There's nobody on the tee. The next group was over there on 14, over here to the right. So I kind of start reading my newspaper. Now Frank, in this here, okay, starts screaming at me. The producer director at that time did both. Screaming at me. Say something, you idiot. In verbiage I can't even say on this podcast. And I look at Vern, and Vern's, he's Swedish, and he's got that white flop sweat going now that he needs an answer. Then I figured, we're still in commercial break, and these guys are fooling me. They're going to get me to say something,
okay.
right? So I go, okay. I said, you know what, Vern? I said, this putt's really, really fast. In fact, if he hits it too far, he could hit it in the water. Now, this is 1986, before they had a lake there. Mm-hmm. The only water on that hole then was a drinking fountain on the tee. So if they want something, I'm going to make up something because there's nobody there. So all of a sudden, Vern goes, whoa, boy, you're right. Another foot, and that ball would have gone in the water. Now I get up and I stand up and I'm looking at Vern, and he goes, okay, now let's go over to 15, Bob Murphy. And I go, I'm pulling a shirt and say, what the hell was that? He goes, well, good call, but you got to get it faster. I said, good call? I said, what are you talking about? There's nobody on the green. He goes, well, you've got the monitor. And he looks at me and I go, monitor? I haven't got a monitor. You got Jabba the Hutt in front of the monitor. I can't see it. He weighs 438. He's over there. I can't. I'm just going by sight. I'm on the 16th hole. And he goes, oh, we have some other holes too. Oh. Well,
So you were just totally making up some stuff.
I made it
because
up.
you couldn't see the monitor, what hole they were
I
talking
made
about.
it up. No, I have no
Yeah.
monitors. I'm on the 16th hole.
Yeah.
There's the green. There's nobody on it.
Yeah.
I'll make it up. They want to have some fun.
Yeah.
So it was actually real stuff. What was going on?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I wasn't commercial.
And you thought they were just yanking your chain.
Guess
like,
what hole I was on?
What hole was
Out
it?
there, I would have to say like number 12.
Bingo.
Wow, what a guess.
Wow.
The balls-
Good scoop.
The ball's in the back part of the green. The pin's in the front going down that thing. And Bob Eastwood hits a putt, lips out, and stops this far from going in the water.
You lucky bastard.
I get done and
Yeah.
I go,
Oh, my God.
if there's a business that I should be in, it's this. And that was my first job. And the way I got it was simply this Sunday, Vern said, let's see, I believe it was Fred Couples. Do you remember the green behind the green was a steep incline with a lot of long grass?
On 16?
And, yeah, on 16, and the thing is straight downhill. So he had launched it up on a hill up there. Now he's got one of those. He's standing sideways trying to undercut it. And Vern goes, Gary, what's he got? I said, here's what he's got, Vern. I want everybody out there that's got a wedge and a ball. I want you to walk out to your front lawn. I want you to chip it onto your driveway. Start hauling for it to bite. That's what he's got. And Vern looks at me and he goes, like this.
And you're like, I don't know.
Oh,
What I'm
yeah,
doing. I don't
that's
even know
just
what I'm
it.
doing out
No,
here.
I
Yeah.
don't even know. I'm just
Is
making
that good
stuff
or
up.
Is that bad?
And we get done, and Frank, I go in Frank, he says, Frank wants to see you. We're done. Okay. I walk in, he goes, sit
Principal's
down.
office.
Frank's office. He goes, what are you doing next week? He goes, I said, why? He goes, what are you doing next week? And I said, well, I'm playing in Washington. He goes, good. You'll miss the cut. Come on up on the weekend. The next 4 years, that's what I did. I got $500 per weekend. And when I'd miss the cut, which was regular, I'd go up and start doing the golf. And finally, after 3 years, I went, all right, boys, enough of this. I said, I'll quit if I can get this job full time. So that's how I got it. I would no pretension to get that job.
So before
whatsoever.
that, before they called you up at Memorial, did you have any
No.
indication like this is what I want? If
No.
golf doesn't work out, this is what I want to do. I want to get into broadcasting. Anything? No, you're just like on a whim. They sent you back a bottle of wine. You're like, yo, I want to come up. I want to come up and see how things work. And then next thing you know, you said, hey, try to chip it onto your driveway, and they were like, you're brilliant. Come out here and work.
It was
more or less.
It
the
was
rest
a
of the year.
deal. It was a deal, and that's a good point. I'm going to tell you the next week. Okay, so we're Washington. I believe, yeah, it was next week. Nance's first job. Okay, he started 1 week
Oh
after I
yes,
did.
yeah.
Okay, so we're in the compound there, and I'm going to take Jimmy out to the 15th hole. First time I met him, I said I'll take you out to 15. This was at Doral. Excuse me.
How old
the
was
next
Jim
week.
at this time?
He had really a lot of hair.
He still
And-
has a lot
yeah,
of hair, dude.
lot
He's
of hair,
like
yes, he
Jennifer
does.
Aniston
He
and
does.
J-Lo. He's going
He
backwards.
was 26, I think, at the time.
Okay.
25.
Little baby
just
Nance.
out of
Little baby bird.
baby Nance. He was just out of Utah. Anyway, we knew he was the next guy
The next
coming
dude.
up. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I said, I'll take you out to 15. So I get in the cart and he gets next to me. We start to go and Frank jumps in front of the cart, 5'8" Carthenian general. Hey, okay, Nance, now listen to me. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take these shots. I want you to tell me what it is. Get in a conversation with the other guys. I don't want you doing this. I don't want you doing that. You do this, you do that, you do this. I'm sitting there in the cart and he goes, okay. He says, now get out there. And Jimmy goes, I better take my own cart. He says, we're kind of late now. And I go, okay, fine. So Frank's starting to walk away. I said, Frank, second, I've only worked one event. No one's
Yeah.
told me what to do yet.
Yeah.
He goes, he turned around, he looked at me and goes, I'll tell you when you screw up. And it wasn't screw up was the word. He
Yeah.
says, I'll tell you when you
Yeah.
break up, okay?
Yeah.
And I just went, huh. I just heard,
Perfect. Yeah.
this is a producer. So he understands. He's got one guy that is going to do everything by the book. And he's going to coattails and everything else. And then he has got this idiot sitting there. And go ahead, you do whatever you want, but I'll reel your ass back in when you do something wrong. But the deal was he wanted me to push. That was his whole deal. Push it, push it, push it. And we get back to what we've got now. We don't have that guy to push it. Whoever it is, we don't have a pusher. We got a bunch
Right.
of guys that break. And that's just them. It's not their fault.
That's
who they are.
Who they are. That's
Yes.
the position they play,
Yes.
and it's not. And you're right. It's not their fault. And that's a perfect segue into. I want to talk. You got your beautiful shirt on. For those listening only on audio, he's got David Faraday making just an atrocious face here. I think this
That
is
is
a
a
one
beautiful
of
man,
this is
Sleaze.
a
You be
one
nice
of
to
a
him.
one type of a T-shirt. I think you got to be Gary McCord to get this. But you worked a number of years with David Faraday. When I think of fun and golf and the same thing in terms of broadcasting, those are the two names I think of. You and David Faraday, and you guys worked together for a long time, right? When David Faraday left, and when you guys were together, you had the back and forth. It was awesome, in my opinion. I think everyone's opinion. That was the best 1-2 punch in golf at the time. When he left, and now you were kind of the remainder of, I want to call it like the wild cards, right? In terms of golf broadcasts, you could say anything. You never knew what was going to come out of either of your mouths, and that's what made it great. That's what made it fun. When he left, did that change the way that you called golf when you were there? Like all of a sudden, you were playing ping pong back and forth. You guys would return it to each other, right? There's always somebody there to hit it back. You played off each other. When he left, did that change the way that you called golf at that point, or it changed the way you operated in any way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to. I was taught by Frank, and he told me, give you guys, and you guys, I told you the story many times.
Sure.
And people. He brought me in, and we're sitting there in his office one day, and TV's on, the golf's on. And he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, idiot." He said, "If you ever tell me what I'm seeing on that screen, you're fired. Now get out of here." I walked out there and go, "What the hell is he talking about?" So okay, we gotta get out there and explore things and get it going. So I don't have David now. I first did it with Ben Wright. Okay, Ben was from London. He was a journalist. He wrote for the London Times, okay?
Very proper.
Financial Times. Brilliant. I mean, brilliant. He was a wordologist.
Much like yourself.
Yeah, not really.
Very similar.
And so I'm from Southern California, dude. Right? I worked at Surfboards Hawaii and Locadia, and it was a dude. And I got this guy, so I started punching him on the air, punching him. When you don't do that, you didn't do that back then. You didn't accost anybody in your group that you were working with, and that was not good. And Ben would get all, well, say, silly swine, you can't. And then Frank, they at one point they took us off the same show. So he'd work and I wouldn't. They didn't want it. So they came back on. I kept going, and I hit him harder. And I'll never forget the day. I was at the 16th hole or the 17th hole at Hartford. Okay, tough hole, water around it, and it's boring out. Okay, it's just monotonous. I get this. Producer Frank hits his button, not an all key, but a button to me. Hey, the next time that British asshole says something, take his ass out. And I sat there and I went, "Are you kidding me? Frank's giving me the go.
The green light."
He said something and I just killed him. And then he would get all mad and all harumphy, and he would start spewing out these words. I have no idea what they were, but it sounded great. There's a Southern California, just an idiot. And we've got this guy that's actually brilliant.
Intelligent, yeah.
And so we collided in the middle, just as I was telling you guys. You've got to get people there. Frank understood that. He understood those dynamics. So that's how, and then David came on, it was the same kind of deal. He didn't press it, but, he was there, and I'd hit him, and because I'm the one that brought him in the business and got him up there at the International up in the tower like I got with you one day, and put him up there and just see what he'd do. And he was brilliant because he didn't say the things I thought he'd say. They were left field, right field, center field, whatever.
Perfect.
And I went, perfect.
That's what I want to know. Was David Faraday always David Faraday from day one, or did that personality kind of develop with time?
Yeah.
I don't think you can create. Can you? You can't create that type of a guy.
No,
you either got that or you don't.
It was the same deal. I told him after the first day, we're up there. He was only up there for an hour, and I said, "You're going to be doing this business in the future." He was still playing good. He finished second the next.
Played a
week.
Ryder Cup. I mean, he's
Ryder,
a real
he was
dude.
A hell of a,
yeah.
won 9 tournaments.
Real dude.
I said, but when you decide to stop, please come to CBS. We'd love. I had nothing.
Right,
to do
like
with
you're
it.
you're pulling
I'm
the
doing
strings.
it,
Like, hey guys, I got a guy.
Yeah, they look at
I
me.
wanna
Gary's
vouch
got
for.
an idea. Oh,
Yeah.
good. That's perfect.
Cool. File
So
that in.
anyway, it was. I know the guys that are going to be good with a microphone in front of them. They're glib. They're fast. They can get a point across. You know those guys, okay? And you know the guys that are not going to do that.
But you and Faraday, like I feel like that's 2 accelerators. Those are the 2 biggest accelerators, right? So you guys got 2. There's 2 right there that in my opinion. And Cole, I don't know if you would think, but like those are two of the same, more or less, type of guys, right? You're an accelerator. You're a funny, quick-witted guy. You're gonna say some weird stuff. Faraday the same way. There's two guys that are the same, right? And you guys were on the same call for a long time.
You dance with that a lot. If David gets going and he's going good, back down and just kind of
Let him
with
go?
it. Let him
Yeah.
go. Like I did with you the other day at the dry heave. You
Right.
got going. I went over and I handed the microphone to Jack, okay, our DJ, and I said,
Right.
I won't be needing this anymore. And I just sat there and watched.
Right.
But you know, it's again, it's a
That was the
flow.
cocktails.
The whole thing is a flow.
Yeah.
And it flows one way, it flows the other, but you can actually take it and move it to a different direction, and that's the business. You got to be in the business a while to understand that, and have colleagues that everybody's a role player. I'm a role player. Peter was a role player. Jimmy's not a role player. He's just
He's the
God.
driver. He's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
And
show.
and everybody else,
He's Jesus.
And Nick's got the credentials, everything. Everybody's a role player in this deal. Everybody.
I'm
That's a good way to put it.
Not to change the subject, I'd like to go back to Faraday just for a second. Can you share with us like one of your greatest memories with Faraday? I know that you have a million. One that you could probably talk about on here, so we don't have to edit
Right.
it
That
out.
limits it big time.
But whether it be a call on the
Yeah,
golf
what
course,
can we say on
whether
this?
it be,
I'm not sure.
You can say
you can
whatever
say
you
whatever
want. dude.
We can always bleep everything out.
Oh,
But
okay.
I want to know some
Oh.
good David Faraday stuff that no one else has probably ever heard.
Okay. It was about 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Tiger, Saturday, Quail Hollow, Charlotte. It was hot. It was murky out.
Setting the scene. I love
Yes, this is a
There
good
were-
storyteller right here.
There were 1,000, 2,000, probably 5,000 people following him. And it was a morbidly hot Tarzan day. And I'm sitting up in the tower and got these guys down. Now, on the golf course, and we're going about our business, and Tiger's coming around to 15. And he's prancing, he's playing pretty good. David's with him. So we go to commercial break. Now, when we come out of commercial break, Lance Barrow, producer, has a mic check to make sure somebody hasn't fallen out of the tower or done something stupid. So everybody's got their little deal, and Jimmy, Lance will go, okay, Jimmy, check all the announcers. Okay, Nick's here. We know that. Ian Baker fence. And oi, oi, oi. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Okay.
Is that what he
he's,
would say when
yeah,
he would check
yeah.
in on the mic?
And then I'd go, what? And then we go down, and Peter would go, yeah. And then David would put the microphone, as you know, he's got unbelievable flatulence. And at any time, he can generate monumental burps of nastiness. And he would put it down to his rear end, and you'd hear,
Jesus.
that's how we knew David was
On the
there.
mic, yeah.
It was just
His
that's
mic's hot.
What we do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? So we go, and David, now we go to get David, and you hear this. Oh. And then, okay, let's go to 14. Uh-oh. So I'm sitting there, why would he say uh-oh? And so now I'm looking, and I know we've got the dress Adidas on, and we got khaki pants. And I'm looking down, as you know, 16 at Quail Hollow. It's just dead straight, basically, in the old green. And I can see the tee. When I look back there, and here he is. Tiger hits it, and there goes David walking, splay-footed, with rain pants on. I know what the uh-oh is. The boy has shit his pants, okay? Now, he can't go anywhere because there's 5 million worshipers of Tiger that are hounding the trees and the grass and the fairways. And he is like a ping pong ball in a hurricane. He's trying to get out, but he can't get out. And so I see him down there walking. He is walking, and it's splay-footed. It's going, toes are going left and right out there. And I know he's not comfortable, and it's going to get crusty in a little bit, especially as hot as it is. So I see him peel over there, and he gets underneath the tree, kind of near the people. Tiger gets up, and David, what's he got? David's nowhere near him, right? And he goes, 7-iron, 174 yards. I go, you think that's enough club, David? Oh yeah, he's sweating. He's playing pretty good now, and everything. So he gets up and he hits the ball in the green about 18 feet. And I looked down. David's not moving. He's still underneath the tree back there in the fairway. So now we come to Tiger. I go, okay, now we got, I told Lance, hit the button. I said, get worm cam. Get worm cam on. Worm cam is where you put the camera right on the ground, right behind the ball.
Yeah.
Because I want to give it's the best thing in golf because you'll take a ride. If you're on a couch, you get a ride. You get to watch the stroke, and then you get to watch the ball from point of view. That's the player. It's fantastic. So I get POV on this. So I go, David, I know you're down there and you've looked over this putt a couple times. I watched you. What is it?
He has no idea which way it's
180
breaking.
yards back there in the fairway.
You're so wrong.
And he's
That's the best.
And he's trying to hide because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
uncomfortable and he's crusting
And
up
he's
and everything
crapped
else.
his pants,
He has
yeah.
shit his pants. So then, and he can't be wrong now because we got worm cam.
Right.
If he reads it and he read it 8 inches the wrong way.
Yeah, you're
okay?
dead, yeah.
He's dead. So now it's this putt, and I go, well, David, I don't know what you're doing down there, but that wasn't even close. What were you doing when you were looking at the green? And he's going like, that's all he did. He just flipped me off from underneath the tree down there. So we wait. Now everybody knows. Everybody knows David has crapped his pants. Okay. So we
Perfect.
go to 17, and we're just watching him. We go to 18. You know that long walk of the creek, and he's walking all the way down there, and it's getting wider and wider, and it can't be good.
And it's 120
It's
degrees.
120 degrees, and it's just
Oh,
lucid hot.
God.
So now he's sitting there, and our compound is right up above the 18th hole. It's about 70 yards up there. And so Tiger putts out, and we're going to commercial break, and you see David now starting to run up the hill with his microphone, his backpack, and everything else. And Lance goes, David, I want you to stay down there and get an interview from Tiger.
Oh, God.
Yes, perfect.
So he stops. You can see
Yeah.
his shoulder just slump like this, and he walks back. So now the cameraman, we all know it, Davey Finch, locks the camera on the 3 guys. So we've got Tiger in the middle. We've got Stevie over here, who is at best 1 and 1A as far as flatulence. Okay? And we got David on this side. And David's just sitting there like this with the microphone in his hand, head down, shoulders curled. And he's just sitting there. And now we're all watching. Tiger doesn't like interviews, doesn't like to be seen.
Of course.
He goes, hey, Faraday, when do we come back from commercial? Lance, Tiger wants to know when we're coming back from commercial. Tell him 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. You see Tiger going, he's on the kid. He's going
Yeah.
like this. So they're all sitting there, you know, about 15 seconds, and all of a sudden, you see Tiger going.
Oh, God. Yeah.
He turns to Stevie and he goes, you didn't. Okay? He goes, Stevie didn't. I mean,
Well,
Stevie
Stevie
goes,
says,
I didn't do
yeah.
it. So he turns to David. As soon as he looks at David, David goes, I shot myself on 15. And Tiger jumped up in the air, kind of like get away from him. Then 5, 4,
And
Jimmy,
we're live.
throw it down. He's got Tiger Woods down there, our own David Faraday. So David goes to put the mic, and Tiger's running. He's getting away from it.
He left.
So David's trying to get the mic, and Tiger's running that way because the stench is so bad, I guess. And it was hilarious to watch.
That's like,
And
what
it's
does Faraday say when Tiger's running the other way and he's like, I was supposed to be here with Tiger, but I crapped my pants, so
It's
he
just-
left.
I guess,
it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess he didn't. We cut
Look,
and
I
went
can't
somewhere
blame him.
else. Yeah, went somewhere else. It was just.
I don't understand what it is, Sleaze. Every guest we have on any show we do.
Yeah. Anything we're a
There's
part
always a
of,
shit
there's
your pants
always
story.
a shit your
Below
pants
the waist.
story. It's
Below
it's
the waist.
amazing the level at which people shit their pants in like a grown up, like at a grown age. We've had more of these stories, more
Wait till you get my
shit
age.
stories.
Wait
Yeah,
till
and
you
you're
get-
fasting right
wait
now.
till-
I'm
and I'm
expecting you to
fasting.
explode at any point
Whoa.
right now.
See that? What time is it?
Yeah, you got
still got a little bit.
You got
It's
another.
5:30.
You got another hour or
This
so
headache
at
is
least.
fantastic
At least.
right now.
All right, you brought up Tiger Woods, which you were there in the prime, the greatest golf arguably ever played. And it doesn't have to be Tiger, but I want to know what is the most memorable shot you ever got to call? And if it was Tiger, great. If not, if it was somebody else. Just the one thing that sticks out in your mind, the greatest shot you ever called in all your time on TV.
The greatest
Yes.
shot.
Yeah,
I-
greatest
you got
shot.
me focused on Tiger right now. So
It's probably
Well, there's a
Tiger.
good
I mean,
chance it probably
yeah,
is
33 years.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
the
so I'm
it's
going
probably
with-
the dude.
I'm
yeah.
going with the Tiger stuff. I was the chip in from behind 16
Yep.
At
when he was
Muirfield.
at Muirfield and the pins down.
Yep.
And he gave it a side wipe and it hit the ground like a sack of and started rolling down there and it just trickled in. Are you kidding me? The best shot I ever saw on the ground. This was you got to help me with this. This was at Chicago. The golf course had
Cog Hill.
Cog Hill, very good.
Thank you.
Ninth hole's par 580, something like that. Tiger drives. He's playing with John Cook. I remember that. Faraday's down on the ground on the left-hand side. Tiger's way back on the right in the trees in the rough. And I just remembered another one that's really funny.
Perfect.
And we're down there, and there's 296 yards to the green. Okay? Pins in the front left. So David's down there, and he goes, well, Gary, so I went down and looked at that line. He's got nothing out of there. I mean, it's up to his fetlocks. And he said he's going to have to hack this out with something. So Tiger goes over to the back, takes out a 3-iron, and hits this bullet, pounded. It sounded like bam, just like that. David's on the left-hand side of the fairway. He aimed it right at him. And David just hits the ground, and this ball goes, and it starts cutting like this. And I'm looking at this shot going, are you kidding me? There's no human being can. And he hit it, or it hits short of the green about 30 yards, rolls up about 18 feet from the hole. And I go, Faraday, I thought you said this is a bad line. He's going, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I said, he hit it on the green. He goes, no, where did it go? Because he was flat on the ground.
I love
he
it. He
didn't
hit the
see
deck. That's
Just,
great.
And Tiger hit this bolo cut out of there.
It's a little 293 iron
Just,
from the rough.
God almighty.
I get it.
I mean, like you said, you saw all of it in his prime. I mean,
Here's
how ridiculous was it?
Okay, thanks. Great setup for this one.
Good.
We're at 18th hole at Firestone Country Club. It is 478 yards, pins in the back left. There's a forest on the left and nuisance trees on the right. It's a Saturday. David's down there. I can tell him this is funny, and I'm going to use the wording too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
use it.
So
Yeah,
you're
make it
gonna-
authentic, man.
This is exactly what happened. So I'm done with 16, and I leave to go back to the compound. Okay, and I saw Tiger hit his tee shot in the crap to the left with a 3-wood. Okay, so I'm going to go in. So I get in, and I've got to take Faraday back to the hotel. So he comes in the compound. He's ripping and roaring and everything. He goes, Did you leave the 16th tower? I go, yeah. He goes, did you see the last hole? I go, no. He goes, are your clubs here? I go, yeah. He says, get a wedge and a ball. What? Get a wedge and a ball. So we get in the golf cart and we go down and we go to the left of the 18th hole. I don't know what he's doing. I got no idea. I go down there and it is vegetative. It is long. And there is nothing but trees in front of me. And he takes and he puts a ball, and there's a swath that's about 3.5 feet long where he put the ball next to. And it's still shimmering from the heat.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he goes, okay, now, we're doing radio here. So directly to my right, 90 degrees and 30 yards away was the fairway, okay? And 196 yards, somewhere on the left was the pin, okay? And I go, okay, well, what do you want me to do? He goes, for $100, can you get that ball from there to the fairway? It's 30 yards over here. So I got a wedge. So I get in there. I look down. I can't. Yeah. I can't do it.
30 yards?
30 yards.
A player of your magnitude.
I couldn't hit it 30 yards
Okay.
to the fairway over here to my dead right. And I go, what's this all about? And he goes, Tiger hit it 17 feet from the hole in the back fringe from there. And I went, what, after he chipped out from the fairway? He said, no, he hit it from right where you are, that divot. No, we didn't. Bull. So I'm sitting there and I'm going, he says, this is how it happened. He said, Jimmy, I'm down there. Jimmy's up in the tower. And he said, David, what's he got? And I go, he's got to chip it out. He's got an opening about 80 yards up there. He can get it kind of towards the fairway, towards the green, or you can just chip out sideways. But he's got nothing. Now, he's playing at that time with the second best player in the world. Ranked number 2 in the world was Ernie Els. So Ernie now comes behind David. David's out in the middle of the fairway. Ernie's walking his ball down the right-hand side. Tiger gets in there. He thinks it's a wedge, and he thinks he's going to hit it out. And he takes this swing that looks like he has fallen out of a 100-foot tree. There's stuff going, flying, everything. And this ball comes ripping out, and it is just sidewiping to the left. I mean, a snap hook through the trees. At that time, Ernie's walking by him. David flips his mic on. You got a backpack. You flip your mic on. And as David goes, "Oh, my God," you could hear this. "What the fuck was that?" And that's from the second best player in the world.
That was from
And
Ernie.
It is, yes. Ernie
Yeah.
Els says that, and Lance goes, "Tell me that wasn't you. Tell me that wasn't you." And he goes, "No, it was Ernie Els behind me," after they got the mic.
Thank God.
But that is the greatest commentary of all time. When
Yeah.
the second best player in the world goes,
Can't
blah, blah,
fathom what's
blah,
going on.
Can't fathom a man could hit a shot like that. And that's basically the whole epitome of Tiger Woods and the shots he could play, and other guys can't even see him. A video game, you couldn't figure out how a guy could duck hook it. It was 196 he hit it.
Yeah.
196,
Pitching
pitching
Out of the
wedge.
rough. Yeah.
Hooded up. Are you kidding me? Again,
And you wouldn't
I
take
couldn't
a
hit
$100
30
bet to get a
I couldn't
30
get it
yards
in
to the fairway.
Couldn't get it to the fairway.
Nuts.
That's how good. I mean,
that's-
that was the difference at the time between Tiger and everyone else.
And I saw
you
those
saw
other
you
guys.
saw all
I
of it.
saw them all play, and there was nothing close.
So, Gary, obviously, we could talk about Tiger for hours and hours, but we don't have that long. And you don't have that long.
I
Oh,
don't.
you might. Yeah. You definitely don't have that long.
I am definitely on the back nine, and I'm coming into the closing holes.
I
yes.
love it.
We are on the clock officially on your life.
I think for me, I mean, you started at CBS in '86. I was born in '85. One of my first memories of you was the incredible movie Tin Cup.
Yes.
And
Got to talk
we
about
got to
it.
talk about it. And last year, I will say, you were nice enough to invite me to a dinner in Beverly Hills at the
right.
grill
Yeah.
in the alley.
Yeah.
And Ron Shelton,
Yep.
who directed and wrote,
Wrote.
that,
Co-wrote.
and Bull Durham
Yes.
was there.
Great movie.
And y'all told me stories that just blew, like, it was the first time in my life I don't think I've talked for a
And
dinner.
Gary Foster, the producer,
Yes.
who has done his first movie was Sleepless in Seattle,
There you
and
go.
then he's done
Never heard of it.
200.
So I literally just sat there and listened to these guys. But tell us how the idea of Tin Cup. First off, how the hell did you get involved in this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a good
really.
question.
That's a
Colt.
great question.
It's a good question, Colt. How is an idiot like you involved in one of the best golf movies ever made, in my opinion?
I get a package from my agent, and I open the package, and I'm in Colorado, and I open it up, and I see a screenplay, and it says on the front cover letter, "This is a movie in product or going to be in production, and it's Warner Brothers, starring Kevin Costner, written by John Norville, and we had another writer in there. No, just Ron and Ron Shelton and John Norville." Okay, and I called him. I said, "Well, what is this?" He goes, "I got this script in the mail, and they want you to help them in the movie." I go, "What do you mean?" They want you to be the technical director, and they need some help with teaching Kevin and blah 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 blah. So when you read a movie script, the first thing you do is you go through it really fast to see how many times your name is mentioned. Okay,
Right.
Is
Where
this-
do I talk?
Is this a
Yeah.
big? Is this a little part of it? And I'm going through it, and I'm going, Jesus, there's a lot of parts in here, right? So, and then I sat down and read it, and I'm reading it, and I'm going, wait a minute, I did those things. No one knows about that stuff. Nobody knows. So I called my agent. I go, okay, this has got to be BS. I said, give me Ron Shelton's number. So I get Ron Shelton's number. I call him up. He's in Hollywood, of course. I go, "Hey, Ron, Gary McCord. Yeah. Did you read the script? Yeah." I said, "Where the hell did you get this?" He goes, "Well, you did it." I go, "I know I did it, but no one knows I did it. Nobody knows about the Pelican in Pensacola or the 16 I made it on or the 15 I made on the 16th hole at Memphis when I got pissed and I kept launching balls in the water in the drop areas up by the green." He goes, "Yep, I put him in the movie. I love it. I said, why me? He goes, you got kicked out of Augusta. That's why. And I went, oh, okay. And Ron's that kind of guy. You met him. And so I said, okay, how much do I owe you? I'll do it. I'd love to do this. And he goes, well, you're going to get paid. So I went in and I was the first con. You're going to love this. You guys will love this. Okay, this is going to be a movie about professional golfers and everything. I got to get professional golfers to do this movie. And that was one of my first jobs, is help producing this thing, right? So you start thinking, okay, I got to get all these golfers and I got to deal with agents. This is not going to be fun. Because one guy's going to, I want 20,000, I want 10. As you know, when you go do a movie, you're sitting out there forever doing nothing. Doing nothing. Just sitting there getting bored. So I knew I couldn't get A-type personalities. I had to get John Cooks, Freddie Couples, who did it. Those kind of guys, laid-back guys.
Guys that are cool with
Yeah.
sitting around doing nothing
But
for
now
hours.
I don't want to call agents up and jack with agents. So I'm sitting there one night, and I called Gary up, and I said, Gary, I got an idea. Can I get Don Johnson and Kevin Costner to go to a dinner? He goes, why? I said, I'm going to call up the tour wives, and I'm going to have a dinner.
Smart. This is smart stuff.
I want to have a dinner with two of Hollywood's finest and just tell the girls what to expect if their husband's in this movie. So I got the boys together, and I said, all right, guys, I know you're good actors. I want you guys to pile it on.
Turn it on.
And this was in
Yeah.
Tucson, and we were in this restaurant. I witnessed greatness. It was greatness. It was, they had
Yeah.
the girls in
Eating
the
out of the-
palm of their hands. It was just, are you kidding me? Got down, and every wife came up and goes, when you need him there. No agents, no nothing.
No money.
Yeah.
It was, Johnny Miller's the only guy that had an agent. Only guy. And that's a totally different
That's
story.
a totally
Good.
different.
We don't, yeah.
I
This
don't
will be
wanna
a
get into that
4-hour
one.
podcast.
I don't want to get into that one. So that's when Foster says, okay, you're going to help me. He said, what's your favorite car? I go, Nissan 240Z. He goes, okay. He said, let's call Nissan up. So he calls him up and he goes, da 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 da, blah, 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 Warner Brothers, Kevin Costner, movie. We need a bunch of cars. Gary, which car do you like? I like the coupe. And we need a coupe. What color? Silver. Okay, silver. Boom. So we got these
Done.
Nissans. Yeah.
Just done.
Because we're going to put it on the top of
Oh,
his
yeah,
hat.
yeah, on the hat.
Nissan. Got to have
Yeah,
a car come.
of course.
Right? So the
This is
the
smart
producing before we started this thing was fantastic. I had a ball calling people and bullshitting, which is
That's what you're built for,
I've
dude.
got a PhD in that.
Christ.
Okay?
Yeah, that's your thing.
So we start the movie. Kevin. Oh, there's another. I got 100 stories. Okay.
yeah, keep going. We
Okay.
love them
Okay.
all.
We're starting a movie and we're shooting on the driving range of La Paloma, and we've got to get Kevin. Now, Kevin flew in to Firestone during the Tournament Champions, or what was Firestone? It wasn't NEC, yeah. And he flew in, and we went to Sharon Country Club, and he didn't know who I was, no idea. So we're sitting there and we're hitting balls, and he's just come from Europe, Waterworld, doing that, publicizing that. And flew in, going to go home,
Waterworld.
California. He did not want to be there. That's what I'm setting up.
All right.
So he comes in with a Hollywood deal and everything, and limousine in Sharon, right by Akron, Ohio. And so we go over to the golf course and start hitting balls, and he's giving this big old wavy swing, And I said, how many times you played? He goes, I played probably a dozen times with my father-in-law. I go, really? I go, okay. Now this guy is from Salome, West Texas. I'm the
Technical director.
technical
dude.
director.
You got to handle this.
I got an opposite motion here. I got a big lanky swing with a lot of flow and no speed. And this guy's supposed to be from a place that blows 40 miles an hour every day. So I go, Kevin, here's what we're going to do. We're going to change your grip. We're going to get it really strong. We're going to shut your face. We're going to go to 3/4. You're going to hit follow-throughs that stop because we can speed it up then. No, we're not.
That's what he said?
No, we're not. No, we're
I'm
not.
good.
No, we're not.
My swing's nice.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Well, here.
What do you know about golf, you idiot?
Exactly. You don't know who I am.
Yeah.
So we get talking and we get hanging around and a couple of drinks. And sooner or later, he got into okay, fine. So we show up there. And we're hitting balls the first day. And we've got this a Panavision camera. And it's for golf shots and stuff. And a Panavision whirls. Goes like that. So we have to get him in frame hitting balls, and just to get him the idea when he's hitting these shots, this thing's going to start whirling, and he can hit a normal shot, right? So he's hitting shots in this Panavision camera, going like that. All of a sudden, ball comes flying by us. The hell, I look over, and there's Cheech over here on the left-hand side of the range.
Yes.
And I go, hey, Cheech, quit it. You're going to kill somebody over here. And I look at Ron, I go, sorry. He's the director, right? I'm sorry. He goes, no, it was good. So Kevin's hitting ball. Here comes another one. Like that. Like, wait a minute. Hold it. Camera, stop. All right, Cheech, knock it off. Where's Sven? Sven's my caddy. Sven is supposed to be teaching Cheech how to caddy, professional caddy.
Right. All the vernacular,
Cheech
all
is
the stuff you
banging
say,
balls. Yeah. What the hell? He doesn't play golf. Banging balls. So I find him. Sven's over here. I just Sven. He's caddying for me on the tour for 10 years. I get over there, start working. So now it gets quiet. Everything gets quiet. So fine. Panavision. Kevin's hitting balls. We're working on stuff, right? All of a sudden I go, it's quiet for a long time. So I look over and there's a great pitching area where there was a putting green, but there's a little hill that comes up, grassy knoll, if you will. And I look over and I see two guys, their heads on two golf bags, laying on the grassy knoll, shirts off, passing the biggest joint you've ever seen back and forth. And I turned to Ron, I go, Ron, now that's caddying right there. So that was the first time that Cheech, and what we do, we'd go into to act the movie, and I'm just kind of remembering stuff. If they had a shot and they had between Cheech and Kevin, we would go act it out because Kevin was really good at mimicking. Okay, so we would just go do our tour deal. We go, okay, Ron, I go, okay, action. Okay, what do we got to the front? 173. What's that back pin? What's that? The bunker? Bunker's what? 5 from it? Yeah. Okay, 5 from it. Okay, let's peel this off to the right. I don't want to deal with that bunker. It's too deep. We'll go. And then you go, cut! And they'd run in, and it was fast enough, but they'd just repeat the same thing.
Just mimic exactly what you guys just did. Yeah.
The shot
so it appeared authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
real
and
conversation.
Cheech would follow where Sven would put the bag, then pull it back, the whole deal. Look at the yardage book, the whole deal. And so we got into a flow doing that stuff, and it was.
Did you have Cheech lined up as, like, I don't know if you had played any role in this, but was Cheech lined up as the caddy the entire time? Because he became one of the, like, one of the greatest iconic characters in, like, golf movies is Cheech as the caddy in that movie, right? Hey, caught a little gust there, roams, all that. Like, I mean, people recite that type of stuff. Right. That's one of the most quotable movies. Was Cheech always the caddy in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was incredible, by the way.
Don Johnson, I wanted Jack Warner. They said, who do you want? I go, I wanted Jack Warner to play it because he can play his rear end off.
Because he knows golf.
And I wouldn't have to do anything. Jack, go hit that shot. And he's smarmy looking, and he's smarmy. I love Jack. And he's perfect for that. It was written for him. He couldn't do it. So we've got nobody.
Cheech was a 12.
Yeah, we got nobody. We had, listen to this one. So we got nobody. And the main guy, the guy that's the antagonist to Kevin, we need a smarmy guy.
Yeah.
So they go, we got Don Johnson's coming in for a read. Okay. So fine. So Don calls me. I've known him from the AT&T, right? Now he just got out of rehab, right?
He's perfect to play a golf pro, dude.
Perfect. So he calls me up and he goes, let's meet in the bar at the clubhouse. I go, okay. So we get
right out of rehab.
Right.
Meet me at the bar, dude.
He just got out of rehab the day before. Okay. He's going to come.
Meet me at the crack house.
Yeah. So we go to the bar, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to. He goes, what kind of beer you like? And I go, pounded beers. He goes, okay, well, what do I got to do in this deal? I said, blah, 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 blah. He goes, okay, fine. That was it. Next day we go for a read. And when you go for a read and you're trying a new guy, you got a script. Okay, you got a script, and then the other. So Don was in there, Kevin was there, and Rene Russo was there. So they've got this scene. And Don's got nothing in front of him, and they both have the scripts. Don goes, I'm fine. And he sat there and he nailed that script. He had memorized it. And I went, that's impressive.
That's pro.
That's really impressive. Yeah. They're going back and forth. They're trying to read. Oh, no, they said, and they're going like that. And he's going, da, 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 da. So we have a little powwow out in front. And, they're looking at me like, I got Ron Sheldon, I got Gary Foster, and what do you think? I go, who else we got? Nobody. I said, well, what are we talking about? He's perfect. Yeah. He wants it. Let's go. He's smarmy. He's perfect. So he was in. That's how it was very impressive. To memorize that. Damn, it was 4 pages.
How long did it take to shoot the entire thing?
It takes in a movie, it takes 3 months, and for every day, it's about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes.
That's crazy.
That's why a movie is.
That's why you sit around and do
hours,
nothing for so long. Yeah.
3 months we were on.
One of the reasons I think that's one of the best golf movies or most iconic is because, like, when you see Kevin Costner hit a shot, like, his swing looks somewhat legitimate, right? You see other golf movies, you see this trash swing, you see the ball flying and it spins back right next to the hole, and you're like, that swing didn't produce that. You know what I mean? Like, real golfers, that's real golf nitwit stuff. Like, we're like, dude, that's a garbage swing. There's no way the ball flies like that. But Kevin Costner, legitimately, in terms of golf movies, looked like, hey, that's a real golf swing. Like, how long did you have to work with him to tweak that golf swing to get him to where it's like, this is believable for a golf movie?
We had to, I had to sit back and watch, and then you bring the guys in, that are the tour pros in the movie, doing the movie, and I go, here, take a look at this. What do you think? And they were all sitting around. One time we did in the driving range scene where he kept shanking it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we got scene. Kevin hitting balls for all those guys.
I know that.
And they're all going, are you kidding me? And he was follow through. He was holding it here. That way we could speed it up a little bit and not a long loopy thing. And he got to the point we'd go out and play all the time. He was shooting even par.
That's crazy.
Even par.
I hate those super talented guys. They can act and then just pick up golf and shoot par.
He hit a flop shot one day. Well, I got to tell you this one.
Okay, tell it.
This was funny.
I love
so I'm out on a tour. I'm, doing television. I'm playing still and blah, blah, blah. And I get this call, and I go home, and I live in Colorado. I go home, and I get a call from Ron. He goes, Gary, says, we got to shoot the scene today where Kevin hits the hoe out of the bunker next to the hole. I go, what? And that's when he played the guy with the baseball bat.
Yeah, when he was playing with the shovel and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. He goes, how do we do it? Now, this is the day of the shoot.
The scene, yeah.
And I've got a buddy of mine there that's helping me, and he's working with Kevin when I'm not there. Peter Casas was there too. He was in the movie. So we're sitting there, and I'm going, well, tell me the shot. What's he got? He's got hit out of this bunker. The pin's about 15 feet. And I said, how high is the lip? And he goes, about 3 feet. He's got to hit a ball. Okay. Now, it's really easy if he hits it, and then you do a 2-shot.
Right.
Yeah. So you hit it, and then you show the ball rolling, and everybody goes home.
And it goes to
he goes, I'm doing a master shot. Do you ever see the movie? Have you seen the movie 1917?
I haven't seen it.
It's out right now.
Yeah, it's right now.
Phenomenal. Okay. Sam Mendes shot it. He shot it as a master shot. One camera, one person, took him all over. Well, Kevin's got to hit this with a master shot.
So he's got to actually hit it close with a hoe.
And he's got to make it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to make it with the hoe. And I go, okay. So now I'm in Vail, Colorado. I'm at Singletree Golf Course where I live. There's a bunker down there, a practice bunker that's got like that. And it's flat and pins 12, 15 feet. It's pouring down rain. I've got rain gear on and everything else. And I grab my shag bag and I get in this bunker. And I'm in this bunker for 3 hours. I haven't got a ball out. Not a ball out
with
of
a
the
hoe.
Bunker with a hoe. With a hoe.
Never get caught with a hoe.
I tried once. You get desperate. And I did this one. I got down. Remember how Seve, when he's hitting bunker shots, he would spread his legs out about 8 feet apart, get his knees just about on the ground, and flatten that thing out and bounce it behind it. So I went, okay. So I get in there and I reversed it. I put the I grabbed the hoe end, and the handle end was there, and I was going to thump it to see if it would go up in the air. I didn't think it out because that hoe's got a sharp edge on it, and I'm swinging next to my wobblies down there. And I took this swing,
Wobblies.
and it got in there, and it ripped it about 9 inches up the deal, and I grabbed it, I went, oh my God, I've given myself a vasectomy, and I looked down. There are 3 women in the balcony watching me because they can't believe some idiot is in this bunker with a hoe and it's pouring down rain. And I just waved down, I'm okay, I'm all right. So finally, Ron's calling, you got it yet? You got it yet? I go, no.
No, I
So,
don't. Almost killed myself.
I went into the maintenance shop. I went, okay, this hoe, I got to make like a sandwich. I got to roll back one of those edges so it goes in there and bounces, right? Because it's just going to the side. I can't do anything. So I went in there and cranked it, and I got one out. I got it out. And I went, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to give it to Ron. He's going to give it to Kevin. Kevin's not going to be able to do it. They'll take it out of the movie, right? So I go, well, give it your best shot. See what he's got. So he gets in there and does the same thing. He goes, you can't get it out. So finally he gets mad, and this is late at night now. We're trying to get this thing over there. We've shot B-roll on this thing. They're shooting. He can't do it. He goes, finally, and there's no cameras going or anything. He goes, just put the camera on. And I kind of told him how to do it. He gets in there and whack, boom! It goes over the lip, and it rolls up to 18 inches. Now he's got to get out of the bunker. It's a master shot. Yeah, he's been in there for 3 hours. Now, if he misses his putt, he's back in there again because they're not doing a 2-shot on this. And he said, that's the hardest putt I ever had. He just took the handle
that was the
in
back
and
of the,
shoved
like
it,
a pool cue.
and
Yeah.
shoved it and made it, which is the greatest
After
of all
3
time.
hours of doing
3
that.
hours,
And that's how
me, 3 hours, and just about gave myself a vasectomy.
Right.
So we had 6-7 hours into
you
this one
imagine?
stupid shot.
If he misses
If he missed that putt, you're taking it out of the
running
movie.
it. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
It's gotta be
it's
out
out
of
of
the
movie
scenes
because you can't. Guys, give me an easier than a hoe.
Yeah.
Give me a shovel and I could do something.
Well, you dodged you dodged a headline there with McCord loses balls to
Oh.
nasty hoe.
Just tore, just ripped.
could
But
have
as
been
soon
worse.
as soon as I got in there and I was giving a good thump, and it's too late now when it starts digging in, and I just kept going. I went, oh, this is not going to be good. And yeah, first of all, you can't do it. It won't go out of the hole. It just stays there. I tried everything.
Incredible.
Literally
See, that's
everything.
awesome that you gave us a little background.
You
info
need
like
any
that.
hoe work? McCord is your guy.
Okay, what?
All right,
All
go.
right, Gary. This is a segment we do with each guest we have called Emergency 9. Just 9
Yeah,
questions.
blah, blah, blah,
They're
blah,
honestly
blah.
simple. I
These are
believe it.
easy,
They're-
dude. We
they're
wouldn't
not
lie to
gonna-
you.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
blah.
question
What-
1.
Yeah.
Go.
To show you up.
Easy.
Favorite movie ever?
10 Cup.
Smart.
Okay,
I
there
get
you
it. Movie about the life of Gary McCord. Who plays Gary McCord?
Bill Murray.
Wrong. The scientist from
Wait.
Back to the Future.
Wait a minute. There's
I
there's wrong
judged
and right
the game.
answers
I
on
judged the
this?
game. You're Doc from the DeLorean. That's you. All right.
Celebrity
But
crush.
Same hair if I had any. Yeah.
Celebrity crush.
Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Okay,
good one.
Gary Foster, Dad David Foster brought her in for the movie. Brought her in for Zorro,
Yes.
and I told Gary Foster, she's my all-time. I would love to meet her. I am pulling into Bob Hope Classic. I'm pulling into Indian Wells. I got Costner next to me. The phone rings, and I pick up the phone. We're pulling in to park the car and go hit balls and get ready for the tournament. And it's David Foster, and he goes, Gary, I got somebody who wants to talk to you.
Oh boy.
She goes, is this Gary? And I go, yeah, this is Catherine Zeta-Jones. Oh, who is it? Who is this?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Cool
really?
trick.
Yeah.
And of course, Kevin's sitting next to me going, let me talk to her. I go, just
No.
not Catherine.
You get enough of
Zeta-Jones."
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you get
really.
enough
Shut
of
up.
this.
I said, who is this? Honestly, who is it? This is Catherine Zeta-Jones. And I could detect a little bit of an accent. And it dawned upon me it was Catherine Zeta-Jones. And I literally
What'd you say?
froze. I could not talk.
First time in history.
In
by
history. I mumbled. I tried to say something, and I think I gave the phone to Kevin. I think I did. I couldn't do
I blacked
anything.
out. I don't know what happened.
I
That's it,
just
yeah.
I just blacked out. I parked the car and just sat there and was breathing heavily. That's all I can tell you.
Great.
Well, that's the right answer. That's a good answer.
Okay.
We'll allow that. All right. Next question. Rumor about yourself that you've heard that's not true.
I was dead.
There you go.
Well, that's half true.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're on your way out. You are
Right.
definitely
Right.
on your way out,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you're still alive. Okay,
Very-
keep going.
Okay. Would you rather shave your mustache or have one of us kick you in the balls right now?
Kick me in the balls.
When was the last time you were clean shaven?
1976.
This is a follow-up.
1976.
1976.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
1976.
You would take one swift kick to the nuts as hard as we could,
Yeah, it's
as
gonna
opposed to shaving your mustache.
I have a brand, and this is it. And if I ever get another job, I got to keep it for my brand.
Good
so
point.
that's it.
The chances are slim, but I understand the logic
Do
behind
you
it. Okay.
do you trim it up yourself, or do you have a professional?
I
take care?
do it.
No, he doesn't.
myself,
Do you think you would trust
Yes.
that to anyone?
Yeah,
and
really.
he carries
It doesn't
wax and a
take-
comb at
Yeah,
all
it
times.
takes 2 seconds. It's not.
He's got wax and a comb
Okay.
at all times. He's
God,
got it in his
yeah.
pocket right
Tie
now.
looks good.
All right, next question. Favorite tour stop?
Favorite tour stop was always Pebble Beach. I grew up in Southern Cal, played a bunch of state opens there and amateurs there. Didn't get past the quarterfinals maybe once.
What about to
But-
broadcast at?
That one's fun. You got to see all the boys, and it
Nance
was
got the
always
crib
fun.
there.
And we stay at the lodge, and it's overlooking the ocean. It's just it brings back memories of. I remember at the one hotel there was yellow. What was that called? Something. And there was 12 guys in the room during the qualifier for the amateur, state open, excuse me. And we were in there, and the guy that was the lowest score got the bed. The other 11 guys had to sleep in sleeping bags around. It was hilarious. I love that place. I've been going there since early 60s. So go ahead.
That's
Next
some
one.
mini tour stuff. Colt?
Next one's okay. Fine. Obviously, you have been fired. But before that, what was the closest
He was
you
not
ever
brought
got?
back.
He was
Let's
not
clear
brought
that
back.
up. He
what
was
was the closest
not renewed.
you ever were throughout your broadcasting career to getting fired?
Well, I got fired at Augusta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you
That's pretty good.
still on the network.
Oh, on the network. I thought this one would do it. This was recent. This was 3 years ago at 16th hole that I presided over for all those years.
Yes.
At the greatest show on turf, the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and there was 127,000 people out there that day. And I wandered from our compound down to the 16th hole through this traverse of mass of people and women in sundresses, and oh my God. And so I get up there and we're going, and Pat Perez has got this putt on 16. It's to the right. The pin's tucked against that bunker over there to the left, and Pat had about a 15-footer. And he's there, and I said, well, Pat's grinding on this one. He knows he's got a speed control here because he can't hit it past the hole, because if he does, he might catch that false front. Coincidentally, most of the women out here have the same thing, and it could roll all the way down to the and Folio hits me, the guy that works for me. He hit me in the shoulder so hard, and his eyes were lit up, and he goes, "You're going to get fired. You're going to get fired again." He says, "What are you doing?" And I just thought it was such a good line. I had
It's
to
a great.
use
You
it.
have to use it.
I got to use it.
You're
Yeah.
like kind of like Barkley. Like Barkley can say anything on TNT
Anything,
and
yeah,
basketball, and
it's
people are like, that's just Barkley. You had that same thing, which is
No.
the best. You have almost immunity, almost blanket
I've
immunity from saying
talked
stupid
to Charles
stuff.
a bunch about that.
You guys
I
are
said,
similar, though.
You rotten son of a bitch. You can say anything and
He
get
can.
away
He
with
can.
it.
True.
And I can't say anything of the stuff you do, or I'm fired in 2 seconds. He just gets laughing.
He really can.
He has,
But
that's
he's
why
earned it.
he's the
He's
best
earned
gig.
it.
He's
Exactly.
one of the
God
best
love
there
him. I
is.
love him.
All right, Sleaze. Number
Next
8.
question, number 8. If the game of golf didn't exist, what does Gary McCord do for a profession?
I would probably be.
Panhandler.
I would probably, the answer would be marketing somewhere, but
No.
probably I would be a Gloucestershire fisherman, somewhere up in the north, in a cold, frigid area, trying to bring wahoo in or something, whatever.
I thought you'd be.
I don't see you
I
as
thought
a
you'd just be a
marketing
magician.
guy.
Just go with a magician.
Hey, you
No,
could've done
there's
that.
some
You could be
guys
like
that
David
are
Blaine.
really, really good. David Blaine's really good. He's sticking that thing, the ice
No.
pick through his hand, all the way through.
All the way
pulls
through
it
on the
out.
X-ray
Now I know how to
machine.
do some of this on the X-ray machine. There's no,
No
blood on
blood,
or
no,
anything
and
else.
it heals right when he pulls it out.
Yeah, and I don't get that one. There's a lot of stuff he does that.
All right, last question.
fantastic.
Told you these were harmless.
These are 0 questions.
Yeah.
All right,
There's
this
no
is the most
nothings.
important one though. Okay.
Hmm.
10-foot putt to save your life. Me or Drew? Who you picking?
Watch your words, Magic.
You've been there with your nuts in a vice before, so I would take you. But he's my partner. We finished third in the straight down.
Tell him.
And I was 70 years of age, and we shouldn't have finished third, and he was magnificent.
Yes.
But you picked me. Let's
But
get that straight.
you were always a very, very good putter. You always came with a symphony of a symphony of accolades for your putting prowess.
Symphony of accolades.
Symphony of accolades.
That's put only the way Gary McCord could.
That is true. That was beautifully said.
Yes,
Thank you so
you
much.
are a beautiful man.
And Gary, thank you so much for coming and sitting with us here on Subpar. And also, thank you so much for what you do for both of us. You've been a tremendous help in getting this thing going, and all the advice you've given me personally. I know Drew the same way. Can't thank you enough.
Well, this could be a career ender for me. But,
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely
but
is.
where am I going anyway? But you guys keep plodding along. You're both going to be good. You learn the business. Just stay who you are.
Stay the
That's it.
course.
Stay who you are.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
That's Gary McCord and Subpar Podcast. If there's any TV executives out there right now watching,
Anybody.
you see
I don't
the
care
hat,
what I do.
need work, hire this
I'll
man.
be a gopher.
He is a national treasure. Get him somewhere with a microphone in front of his face because he is the best in the business. Gary McCord, thank you so much for your time.
All right, Sleazy, what an interview that was with the one and only Gary McCord.
He is a special, special human. Can't thank him enough for coming in here, giving us a lot of his time, actually, and for bringing the little party favors that he brought. The pie, he was on some sort of a fast, which is weird, but he does a lot of weird stuff, and the Faraday shirt was great, along with the Faraday stories. That was one. I don't even know if I had heard that. I heard a lot of his crap over the years, but that was a new one for me, and that's an all-time story.
I love that Tiger just walked away.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yep.
So
See you
good.
later. Yeah,
and
you're
by the
really
way,
weird.
The pie, I can't believe one of us didn't throw it in his face.
Yeah,
me
that was a whiff on our part. The fact
We
that that
definitely
did
should've.
not end up in the middle of his face at the
But
end.
I thought it was fascinating how involved he was with Tin Cup.
Oh, yeah, big time.
I mean, he's
Big and I wish we had we could go 3 hours with Gary McCord, and you and I don't even have to talk. There were some other great stories about some of the extras, how they found those extras. May or not have found them at some local establishments there in the area where they were shooting. But great stories from Gary, a dude you could spend so much time with. He's one of the best guys in the world, and whatever he decides to do now that he's not in broadcasting, he's going to be good at it.
Yeah, I can't believe someone hadn't scooped him up. He is.
I think he's got options.
He is a national treasure, and I respect him so much now that I'm getting into the broadcasting, and I've done 3 events now, and he makes it look so easy,
Yeah.
and it's not.
No, it's one of those jobs that as I sit on my couch, I say, "Oh, wow, that was a stupid thing to say." Guys that are really, really good at it make it look easy,
Yeah.
and then until you got a microphone in your face, like, "Hey, entertain everyone." Talk about this 4-foot
Dance
tap in
monkey.
and make it
Yeah.
fun. Like that's a really hard thing to do, especially in golf because there's no sacks or no big hits or anything like there is in football or basketball or things like that, right?
No,
You're more or less calling shots that are
It moves
not
so
super
fast,
exciting.
too. I mean, you have 10 seconds to set up a scene and make it funny.
Are you ready for your debut?
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to kill this thing.
Say something dumb quick so we can come back on here and talk about it.
I'll say something
I'll be
about you on there
recording.
for
I will be.
sure.
If you don't drop my name week 1, this podcast is finished.
Promise? No, but it was great. I can't, like you said, can't thank Gary enough. We're going to have to do it again because he's got so many more stories to tell.
We do an entire series with him. Just a 6-part Netflix. We'll release it like Netflix.
All right. Well, now this is going to be my favorite moment of this episode.
Get it over with. Let's make this quick.
Let's just talk about our first week of making our gambling picks. Producer Mark, could you let us know what happened last week at the Honda Classic?
Yes. Colt, you picked the first place finisher, the third place finisher, and Wyndham Clark, who was T11. Lucas Glover got cut, but that's a pretty solid
fine.
opening performance. Meanwhile, Drew,
Yes.
you also had Tommy Fleetwood finishing third.
Thank
You
you.
had Billy Horschel in a T42 scenario, and also
Sunday meltdown.
Ryan Palmer played very well, T17, and unfortunately, the barn rat was right on the cut line. We're pulling for him all day Friday.
Very sad about
Yeah.
that, actually.
The fact you didn't pick the rat hurts. You got to pick guys on the pod when they are featured on the pod.
All right, so we're adding up our total money each week.
Yeah. Well, how far down am I now after 1 week? I got some making up.
So
Comeback season.
So Colt, especially thanks to Sung J M, is at $1,888,250.
Look
Thank you.
at me. I'm cold.
Drew is at $611,100.
That's a lot of money, dude.
So basically, you got tripled up.
That's a lot of money.
I love it. So now,
That's a couple Ferraris for our
if
boy
I
the
just
Rat.
can somehow find your picks each week and I just copy them,
Yeah, you could jam
Just
me up.
ride this
You jam
thing.
me up, I'm gonna jam you up. You don't
Oh.
even think of looking over here.
can't wait for
at
you.
this
My
right
bag
here.
is going to be so heavy.
Don't even look at this right now.
Oh,
This
you're
is what you do, dude. It's Thursday morning. You came out the gates par. I'm bogey par. It's nothing, dude. It's so much time left in this race.
All right, well, let's get into it. This week, Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. For those of you who missed last week, what we're doing each week is we're picking 4 guys. You have to pick one guy that is better than 25-1 odds. He's one of the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
One guy that's between 26-1 and 50-1,
Correct.
and then 2 guys outside of 50-1.
Correct.
So 2 dark horse. That's where you can really
More
make
or
your
less.
move.
That's where the money is made.
All right, so no surprise here.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the favorite
Okay.
to win the golf tournament.
just like you to
Rory
do that.
McIlroy. He's finished in the top 5 in his last 6 worldwide starts. T6 here last year, won in 2018. He's the best player in the field. Got to take him.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna give you a pass on that one. I also picking Rory McIlroy. If you don't pick Rory McIlroy in this, you're an idiot. You just rattle off all his stats. I don't need to do it. He's the best player in the field. You got to take him hands down. If you're not, then that's a whiff. Until some of these other top 5 players in the world get in the field at the exact same time, we might have some overlap here. I'm going Rory also.
All right, your turn for the
All right,
second one.
so my second one, I'm going with a guy here. I think big upside. There's some bullets I got to dodge on this guy, but I'm going Jason Day, 28-1. Hasn't played a lot this year, as you know. Last time out, MC at Riviera. So there's some question marks here. But prior to that, a 4th and a 16 in his last 2 starts. If he can get through the week without a withdrawal due to paper cut
Stub
or
toe.
a stub toe
Yeah.
or something along, you never know what sort of ailment might come up with Jason Day. It could be Saturday and he could be in the lead. He'd be like, oh, you know what, mosquito got me on the thumb last night. I'm out. There's a lot of question marks behind if he can play 4 days straight. But if he does, he's got the game that suits Bay Hill. Hits it long, hits it high, does all the things you should do around Bay Hill. I'm going with a bit of a gamble, but I'm going Jason Day 28-1.
His mailman might have coronavirus. He's
It-
worried sick about him.
There is a
Doesn't know what's gonna
litany of
happen.
reasons that he could not play this week.
All right.
But that's where I'm going.
I'm going to go with a guy who had a very nice week here last year.
Okay.
Finished second, Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Interesting.
Little shot in the dark there.
Yeah.
Loves Bay Hill. Great record around here. Picked up some distance in the last
Incredible
year or
short
so.
game.
Unbelievable short game. One of the best chippers I've ever seen. Was leading the golf tournament through 54 holes last year. Ended up solo second. Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
my
Going
guy.
with a little Euro flair here in the middle tier.
Yep.
I like that. Okay. I'll allow it.
Okay.
Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Next. Now this is where it starts.
This is
getting-
where
this
the
is where you gotta
rubber.
dig.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
I'm going with a guy who is just playing so well this year. 4 top 10s this year.
Oh.
One of my favorite golf swings on the PGA Tour. I think he's an incredible ball striker. Loves to hit a high fade, which I think sets up perfect for Bay Hill. Harris English.
Okay. That's a good pick.
I like
Very
Harris.
good pick. Came out the gates quick at
Yep.
Honda this week too. Guy that's sneaky trending. Like, was he on the condition? He's on conditional status.
126
this year, right?
to
Yeah,
150.
126 to
and he's already got
150,
his
but he's
card.
like top
He's
10.
made 1.4 million already. This
Yeah,
year,
he's straight for next year, but he's playing on conditional. That's a good pick. I'm not going to knock that pick at all. I'm going to go here with a guy that we like, that we both liked this last week, even though neither of us took him, but he is coming off a recent win. Okay. Young gun, up and coming. I'm going Victor Hovland. He is 66-1. Okay. I'm giving him a pass for last week at the Honda. Did not play well, but he's coming off his first win. Of course, he's going to have a big week. He's going to celebrate. He's going to do all the things that a young kid would do when you win your first tour event. I'm giving him a pass this past week at the Honda. I think he regroups. I think he comes back. Bay Hill, 66-1, one of the better iron players. Short game, not exactly his strength. Doesn't matter. When you hit it as good as he hits it, you can have a little bit of a slip up on the short game. I'm going Victor Hovland. I like him to play well this week.
I love Victor Hovland. Can't ever hate on him. But 10 over last week.
Yeah, I didn't have his best, but I give that a complete wash. You're a first-year kid, or you're basically a rookie out there. You come out and win a tournament. What are you going to do? You're going to go out and win again the next week? No, you're going to celebrate that thing.
All right. Who's your last one?
Last one. Here we go. Another guy. Only one. This is a good stat right here. I dug deep for these stats. In his last 18 competitive PGA Tour rounds, one round worse than 71. Okay, one of the best iron players in my opinion on the PGA Tour. A guy that's becoming a guy that you're used to seeing on top of the leaderboards more often right now. And I like him in like windy conditions, tough conditions. Had a great finish at the WGC Mexico City. Abraham Answer.
I like that.
Abe
Very
Answer.
good.
I
Yes.
like him. You gotta go for sure cut makers in this bottom tier. You gotta he's gonna make the cut. You gotta add to your total, and then big upside. I think Abraham's that guy.
Okay. I'm going to go with a rookie.
Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Yep.
Who dominates Bay Hill?
Me.
No.
Okay.
Wrong.
Never played it.
Who's got the greatest record of anyone?
Tiger Woods.
Okay. Arguably one of the highest ball strikers,
Correct. Very
ball
high
flights
launch.
ever. Bay Hill's greens, like you said, you haven't been there, getting concrete.
Okay.
Hitting a high ball is huge around Bay Hill. I'm going to go with the guy that's got the highest apex
Oh.
on the PGA
okay.
Tour.
Here we go.
Rookie,
Yep.
currently ranked 51st in the world.
It's a good pick.
My guy, Scotty Scheffler.
This is a good pick. This is a
Mhm.
good pick. I hope he plays horrible this week, and then I steal him next week, just like you stole Sung Jae from me. But that is a very good pick. There's no way to knock that pick whatsoever.
All right.
Scotty's a beast.
Yes, he is. All right, to recap, I got Rory McIlroy, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Harris English, Scotty Scheffler.
Correct. We overlap again on Rory McIlroy. We're gonna have to tweak this thing maybe going forward. I don't want you boxing me out on picking all the same guys as me. I got some ground to make up. I got like 1.6 million to make up, so we're gonna have to cut that off quick. But I got Rory, got Jason Day in my middle tier, Victor Hovland, Abe Answer. Those are the
Both
4 guys.
Very strong lineup. So
Need some
best
weeks.
of luck to you this week, Sleaze.
Best of luck to you. This is the start. This is dude. We're barely out of the gates right now. Don't go counting your chickens.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Golf Subpar. Next week, another special guest, Sleazy. Who we got?
Yes, Colorado legend and up-and-coming superstar Wyndham Clark will be on the program. In my opinion, we've had some great interviews. We've set the bar high here. This one with Wyndham, really cool. Got into a lot of serious golf stuff, but a lot of like personal fun stuff as well. Great interview.
He is a great interview, and that'll be out next Tuesday here on Golf Subpar.